Okay, let me give you a couple injury updates. Cam Irving had an ankle, so we'll further evaluate all these injuries. Derek Wright had a knee, and then Henry Anderson had a foot. Barno had a back, but he returned. So, we'll just continue to evaluate those guys. All right, what we just talked about in there for a minute was it was a good week that really ended up just on a bad note in this game. And obviously the game weighs more important than the week, but you got to keep everything in perspective. So that's what we do. What we do is we look at every play, every player. We evaluate everything. We'll grow from it and look forward to diving into the tape and getting better next week.
Frank, what did you see from Bryce and the first team offense?
Yeah, I mean, I thought there, obviously we had a little too much pressure at times. Bryce was accurate. We got rid of the ball quickly. There's some good in having to, we had to try to overcome some bad field position, which we did not do. We got our second drive, we're backed up there, pretty much. But so those are great situations. We talk about this all the time. Let's get the tough situations and put ourselves to the test. And so we had a couple of those today. We didn't pass those tests, but those are good to learn from.
Frank, the Jets obviously a pretty good defensive front, but still, how disappointing to see the protection issues from your first and second groups.
Yeah, I have to. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we don't want to see the pressure that we had. Got to go back and look at it. It's what I've learned over the years is it's not always the O-line. Sometimes we can get it out a little bit faster, but that's just I got to go back and look at the tape and see exactly what was going on.
Thomas Brown took over some of the play calling duties. Was that planned?
Yeah.
Going into this game?
Yeah, we're going to do that the whole preseason. So we'll just mix it up. A lot of the game planning and play calling is collaborative. This is always the way I've done it as a play caller. I like to, kind of give the backup play caller some time, just because I've done it for a few years. So, I just want to get some of it in to get ready for the season, but I also want those guys to get the experience as well.
Did you go into today knowing that you were going to play Bryce 3 series, or was it really by feel?
It was going to be by feel. It was going to be somewhere between 10 and 20 plays is really what we were thinking, depending on how the drives went. I would have probably preferred 2 drives, but when the second one was backed up and we were 3 and out, it was like, okay, let's go one more and see if we can't get something going.
Frank, you used 3 different right guards on those 3 Bryce series. Is that by design, or does that kind of speak to some of the uncertainty about that position?
No, that was by design. Campy and I had talked about that, coming into the week. Just we've really been cross-training those guys, just wanting to get a look and the different combinations, and they've been getting a good amount of work, and just thought it was important to get each one of them a drive kind of with the ones in that combination.
Frank, one of the concerns about Bryce coming into the draft was durability. Obviously just bounced back after 3 pretty big hits out there, but long term, I mean, was tonight concerning at all? Are they concerning at all, just the number of hits he took in such a short time?
I thought he took the one big hit. Obviously that first hit was pretty big, right? I mean, that first hit was pretty big. I asked him on the sideline after, kind of in the second. I waited till the second half. I said, "Well, that was a pretty good welcome to the NFL hit. How'd that one feel?" And he said he was fine. He said he barely felt it. So I don't know.
Was it a little late?
Pardon?
Was that hit a little late?
I don't think so. I think it was a good hit. Sometimes as a quarterback, you got a lot of adrenaline going, and that it was a blindside shot, so you're not tensing up. So he bounced right back up from it. A couple of the other sacks, I didn't think they were really, kind of crushing blows. So yeah, but I did think he took one really good hit.
Frank, 7 series with Matt Corral, you didn't get into scoring position in any one of them. How do you think he did tonight? And do you think that the lack of success in moving the ball was more offensive line driven or quarterback?
I thought Matt showed some flashes. We did have the one drive where we went for it on 4th and 1. And I thought about kicking it, just to get points on the board. When we were 3rd and long, I said to myself, okay, I know we're in, check with the guys in analytics, we're in 4-down territory, and I just kind of said to myself, if this ends up 4th and 5 or more, I'll just kick it so we can get that operation. Then when it ended up 4th and 1, I'm just like, okay, let's just go for it, see if we can get a touchdown drive here. But I thought Matt showed some flashes. We'll have to look at the film overall, to kind of way and see why we didn't score, why we didn't get the ball down in there more often.
Understanding this is preseason, how do you put this in perspective when, you had such a good week of practice and then to come out here and not be able to put any points on the board?
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that question because, right, I mean, it's hard. I mean, you don't like getting shut out and getting beat 27-0. But I have a lot of years in this league that tell me that preseason scores aren't the most meaningful thing. So, not that we're not accountable for that, we are, but it's not the most important thing right now. It's just not. We're trying to evaluate our team. We're trying to, some of it is, listen, and this is by design. I mentioned this the other day. We're very generic now. We did nothing, in our scheme, nothing. And that's not an excuse. I expected us to do a lot. So we kept it simple so that we could do a lot, so that we didn't have to think much, so that we could just evaluate one-on-one play. And so we need to do better there, but as a coaching staff, we really didn't make it. We weren't trying to put the guys in the best position, the whole game with really in any phase. So I'm not saying that they were. I don't know what their game plan was. I just know what our philosophy has been, what my philosophy has been in preseason. And when you're a new coaching staff, I just don't want to show too much. Some teams don't know the things we're going to do. And there's some of it I'm willing to take I'm willing to take it on the chin a little bit in preseason to hide some things that we're going to do in the regular season.
Well, with you saying that, there are things that we've seen, we obviously can't report, that you didn't use in this game. Does sometimes you practicing stuff so much, then going kind of vanilla, impact a performance like that?
It can, but it doesn't all, I mean, it's fair, Mike. I mean, but it doesn't, sometimes that does happen. Obviously, we practiced against this team, so they kind of had us, get us a little bit wired. But I give the Jets credit. They, obviously, they played well. And, they played well. They rushed the passer well. They protected pretty well. I think they ran the ball decent. So give the Jets credit.
Brian, do you intend to play Burns and or Houston at all in the preseason?
Not sure yet. We'll take that game by game. Still working through that decision.
We'll take one more question.
What's the plan for?
We'll do David, and then we'll do Joe. How much did the hits that Bryce took play and then not give him another series?
Not at all. Yeah, really not at all. He's going to get hit. So we don't, now listen, in this game, there was a plan to, we didn't really, everything was pretty much get it out quick throw. The biggest hit that he took was, on one, he had worked through his progression, got a completion on the backside, and, we got had a nice little completion, but had to work through the progression and, and got hit. And then, like I said, the 2 sacks were, we'll see it on the tape, but it felt like they were a little bit coverage sacks, nothing popped early, and, the pocket just kind of squeezed. But I got to go back and look at the tape.
Right. What will be the plan for Bryce in these last 2 preseason games?
We'll take it game by game. I don't want to overcommit to that. What we've talked about as a team, we need to do what it takes to get ready for our season opener. And we're committed as coaches and players to doing whatever we think that is. If that's playing a lot, then we'll play a lot. If we feel like, nope, we're good, we don't want to show anything, we feel confident in what we've been doing day to day in practice, and we want to try to save guys, then we'll make that decision. But right now, we've sent the message as coaches and players, be ready to play, and if we feel like it's the right thing to play a lot, we'll play a lot. If we feel like we need to stop, kind of sit back, we'll do that. And I respect the players because they're all bought into that. They're trusting that process and trusting us as a coaching staff to say, okay, let's get ready. Let's get ready. The goal is to get ready for Atlanta and get ready for the regular season. So everything we're doing is geared around that.
From a personal standpoint, when you evaluate a player like Gruber Hill, how much credit do you give him coming out and playing with what's going on in his home state?
Yeah, I mean, Camus, right, our hearts are out to him and his family. I've talked to him about that. And so it's a tragedy, right? I mean, it's a tragedy, and just kind of talking with him, our thoughts and prayers are with him, his family, and of course everyone there in Maui. And yeah, so we're working through what, is there anything we can do, to help out, we're working through all those discussions.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.